Hello everybody, this is VerticalSandwich, and welcome back to Let's Play The Simpsons.
Look at this place.
Look at it.
Graffitos, bottle and bags.
Graffitos.
Way more pimps than I'm comfortable with. I just
How many pimps is she comfortable with?
What is it with cats and mice? Can't they ever get along?
Lisa, you and I are gonna clean up this video game once and for
Yeah.
all.
Do you think it will still be fun if you can't stomp cat prostitutes and take their money?
Of course. What's more fun than playing nice?
I like that. You know, because it's funny because I've actually stopped prostitutes and taken their money in Grand Theft Auto games. In fact, that was a big selling point. I wish I wasn't the kind of video game player who does stuff like that, but I am. Alright, so, like the earlier Marge episode, you can command her mob to clean up this video game. And that will be the whole point. It's actually just going to be a lot of us running around doing that. And obviously this house we don't have to. And some of this is like, this is almost shamelessly a parody of the opening area of San Andreas. I don't remember what the street is. Like, what the name of the street is in San Andreas that is your home base. Oh, well, there's a very obvious collectible up behind that house. Grove Street. That's it. It's Grove Street. So this looks a lot like Grove Street from San Andreas. San Andreas, which I did not LP. Although I have played it a lot. About 70% completed it, actually. Almost everything but the races, I think. But I did play Vice City. It was my first LP. So, in case you guys didn't know that. I'm sure you knew that. And if you didn't, it's not hard to find out what things VerticalSandwich is LP'd. Oh, okay. But anyway, enough about my YouTube career. Alright. And again, this would be really, like, on some level, could be considered really offensive if it wasn't such a direct kind of parody of San Andreas. And San Andreas has its own moments. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, that game is fantastic in kind of the same ways Vice City is fantastic, where, like, Samuel L. Jackson is just an amazing cameo voice, and Peter Fonda is just unbelievable in it. And it's also fun. I mean, like, it's a lot of fun to kind of the variety of weapons and options, like the jetpack in San Andreas is just a blast. And the fact that you can parachute out of airplanes. Okay. I'm actually surprised. I think I said at the end of Vice City that I would maybe play around with San Andreas a little, and I never did that. I never got around to it. So, I mean, at this point, it's pretty well covered territory. You can find a lot of really good walkthroughs and 100% runs and speed runs. No, not speed runs necessarily, but like just runs of the game that I didn't know that it necessarily really needed to be done. I couldn't think of any kind of fun variations of enemy spawners. Infinite bad guys from a small door. Way to rip off the clown car. Why, thank you, comic book guy. Forgot about cliches, actually. Like, that's not on my list because it's an inevitable cliche. Like, only the cliches that you could theoretically avoid, I wrote down. So, you know, there's no way you would ever get through this level without destroying... You've only got to destroy one of those enemy spawners to get that cliche, so... There was no way I was going to not do that. Yeah, raise that slum shack. Sticking it to you since '76. I don't know if that's a Is that making fun of 76 stations? Like, I don't know. I've only ever seen one 76 sign on a station ever, and that was in Texas. Actually, there's a section of road in Texas, somewhere in central Texas, where there's a lot of oil fields and stuff. I mean, there are places in Texas where that I went, where the oil fields were so strong that it actually kind of smelled like gasoline, like the air. But maybe that was through West Texas. That could have been when I was traveling from northwest Texas to central Texas. But anyway, there's a stretch of highway somewhere where there's just all of these old, like, oil company signs. Like, fully restored, but just, like, along the road. And it's things like, you know, like there's a 76 sign and, like, mobile, and things like that. Like, just these crazy old, like, these beautifully perfect condition vintage signs. It was a pretty cool little not on the map kind of touristy thing to see, I guess. Okay, so you can target this elevator like it's a thing that you need to repair to force your guys to get on it. And you want to do that because otherwise, there's no other way to guarantee that you'll get guys on it, and you need them. We're not going to go up to the top floor. There's 2 of these things that we can put in here. And if we put in one, it'll take us halfway up the elevator. But if we put the second one, it'll take us all the way up, and that's just for a collectible, so. And I just pick up the old cars and stuff. Number one, it's one of the few things you usually support in this level, and like number 2, I'm just that OCD about the idea of cleaning up a game. Okay. Trash that crap. That's nice. So yeah, we'll have dogs attack the high voltage fence. Because nobody cares what happens to dogs. Alright, and so then you can just target the elevator again to get him back on. Not a big deal. So now I gotta switch back to Lisa to drop the elevator again. No big deal. Didn't I just say the last thing was no big deal? I think I did. I think I did. Okay. Yes, bite and kick. Fight and struggle. The road to nowhere. If only this game was as mercifully short as this puny road. Thank you, comic book guy. Thank you. I don't know, do games usually... I mean, is that really a video game cliche? Roads to nowhere? I don't know. Yeah, I guess, I mean, games have to... I thought the invisible barrier thing at the beginning of Marge's first level, I thought that was way more clever. Okay. Sometimes it's easier, by the way, to sick your... Because... The targeting system in the game will automatically target the enemy coming out of the thing before it targets the actual car. So sometimes it's easier to just target the enemy and then beat the car up yourself. Marge can do damage to stuff. I don't know if Marge can work to build things or like make them better, but she can definitely damage things. So, okay, and these are cats with bombs, and like they seem to randomly appear in this level. Maybe you scare them out of certain buildings or something. Every time you fix a building up in this section of the level, it will spawn 2 enemies. Why is that dog running around in circles? Dude, does he just not have orders? Have I not set him on some task that he needs to... And if you'll notice, the dogs will shoot. Like, the Scratchy enemies have broken bottles they'll try to slash you with, but like, the itchy enemies, like, they will actually shoot at you. And your mob can shoot back. Just FYI. In case anybody was keeping track of how we're killing things in this level. So yeah, I mean, Marge can just beat these up herself. Which isn't a horrible idea. It doesn't take her too long. There we go. Why won't this cat die? And that billboard there we need to we need to alter. And this parts and chop shop or whatever. Well, that's funny. We just changed that billboard from a Tom Jackson billboard to a different Tom Jackson billboard. Okay. And yeah, see, we scared these mice out of that building. And that one runs off where he can shoot at us. They'll do that. I think the same rules for your mob apply as they did in earlier episodes, where like individuals could theoretically get knocked down, but you could just go over them and hit triangle and they would pop back up. It's not. So you can see on top of this this building is the collectible that you would get going up to the top level of that freeway that we didn't do. It's just in case you were wondering. There's also a collectible back here behind the billboard. You can see it right there. Looks like a Malibu Stacy one. We're not going to be getting it, so. This level is going to be long and tedious enough. So. And I would concentrate, whenever I come into this part of the level, I concentrate on destroying the enemy spawning stuff. Because it just makes sense. It makes sense to me to just stop them from spawning these obnoxious cats and mice. Alright, there we go. It's one less thing to spawn enemies, I guess. I mean, we're still gonna get them. We're still gonna scare them out of buildings we destroy and things, so. Wait, she gets the receipt, what? That doesn't even make any sense what Marge just said. Alright. And there are a lot of these. Like, we've destroyed a lot, but there are a lot in here.
Use your crazy religion to fix that building.
Oh, Lisa, use your crazy religion to fix that building. That's horrible. It's not even an indictment of Buddhism, it's just mean-spirited. Alright. See, and you'll see, like, you see the mice just jump out of there? That's gonna happen with every building in this section of the level except for 2. And that's because they're different. They're just different buildings. Like, it'll happen with every standard building, it won't happen with the building that's broken in the bay. And it won't happen with the radio station. And the radio station, it's because you have to use Maggie to fix it. So, and the reason we're not doing that right away is because the music that the radio station plays after you fix it is so obnoxious that I want to put it off as long as possible. Because we'll be stuck with it in the level for the rest of the level once we do it. I don't know, you can't, yeah, apparently you can't get rid of this cop car, so we're just gonna live with it. So how's everybody doing today? Bam, vertical sandwich. Okay, good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Live nude felines. I know that was on my list. We're gonna find some live nude felines. And then again, see, we got like 2 enemies out of there. We turned it into Little Vicky's dance studio, which is kind of funny. I don't know that that would necessarily make a section of town a better place, but whatever. This also is essentially the opposite of what we did in what you would do in a lot of San Andreas, which is things like firebombing drug dealers' houses and stuff like that. In fact, isn't that how you get your first girlfriend in San Andreas? Is you save her from a house that you yourself firebombed? Like, a certain irony in that. And I asked that question hypothetically. I know that's how you get your first girlfriend in that game. Alright. Well, there are some cats over here. We'll take care of them. We don't really, at this point, we're so close to the end of the level that we could probably leave a couple enemies running around, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to do that. Alright, well... yeah, we don't have a lot of options. We have the building that's broken in the bay, and pick this up and drop it. The clip joint. And if you drop it, I mean, it'll fix itself. Like, it turns itself to... Actually, this game has, or this level has one of the weirdest sections of that. Like, it has one of the weirdest instances of things putting themselves in the proper perspective that you'll ever see. So no enemies will come out of that building, probably because it was laying in the bay. Okay. So Maggie can fix the radio station. And again, it's just obnoxious. So we waited. I suggest you wait till last to do it. Unless you want to listen to just this one song play over and over and over again. So there it is. That's what you have to listen to after you fix the radio station. Ugh, horrible. And because we fixed the last thing, then this Lisa Buddhist pad appeared, but you have to fix this this pier. So because we've got to make a bridge, but we need to attach things to the reconstructed pier. So and see, like that, okay, that turns, and that's fine because it was sideways. But there's this section of interstate up here, or section of highway. And you pick this up, and this thing has to turn 180 degrees. Like, fully all the way around. But, like, it doesn't tell you that. There's no way for you to know that. And so you have to drop it just right so that it turns. And it's weird. So, like... So you just wait for a while and see what it does. Like... Yeah, once you get it happen like this, it may actually, like, flip around. It doesn't do it really well. Like, all the other things, like, when you drop it, it starts turning, like, in the air. But, like, this thing won't. It won't do it that way. Like, it has to hit the ground, and then it does this really slow, crazy turnaround. And if you do it wrong, if it doesn't do the crazy turnaround, there are places you can set it where it looks like it's complete, and Marge can even get all the way across. But then her mob can't follow her. So you can't really finish the game. Because you need the mob to work on one of the buildings on the other side. So. Like if you look at the Marge icon, you can see that she's running around. Okay, here we go. Like, this is the thing that it has to do. And it's so strange. Like, I don't know why they just didn't put it the right way. My last playthrough of this game, I spent like 20 minutes just trying to drop this thing in the right way. See, and then it'll do the checkpoint thing and stuff, and you know you've got it right. But... And now your mob can cross, which is important, so. And see, listen to how obnoxiously loud that music is. It's just horrible. Well, it's getting quieter now, but... Now, thank God there's something over here to drown it out. Destroy that non-specific thing. I like that. That's nice. It avoids the AI having to think about what it's doing. Or come up with a response that's appropriate anyway. And it makes sense not to kill the enemies when you're destroying the thing. Because if you kill them, then a new one will spawn while they're beating up on the thing. That they're... Increase the peace through killing. What is that saying? That, like... fighting for peace is like... Screwing for virginity, isn't that the... I think that is the saying. Anyway, enough about that. Okay, so that was the last building, but we also have to turn these armored trucks into ice cream trucks. And then we'll be ready to fight the end guy. How cool was that? And I don't necessarily understand the end of this level. I mean, it seems a little lazy to me, but like, you know, we'll run through it. It doesn't... You know, obviously I like the rest of this game so much that I can overlook some of the things in the game that bother me, but I'm still going to mention them. And it's this, is that, like, there's this stage and Poochie's on it and says Poochie stuff, but then he like sends these cats out with bombs that you have to kill with Lisa's Buddha hand. Which is fine, I guess. I mean, keep bombing those hoes. Oh my god, Marge. You and your mouth. So yeah, just keep hitting these cats. And you will because they're trying to destroy the ice cream trucks. I don't know what they do after that. Maybe they blow up Lisa. I don't know. But and the ice cream trucks can take a hit or two. I mean, you don't have to get them all, but get as many as you can. And then after 3 waves, they won't attack anymore, and then we can attack the stage. Oh yeah, see, we missed that one. But wave 3 is complete now, so it doesn't matter. So, and now we can attack the stage. And one of the things that gets me about this is that, like, once we're done attacking the stage doesn't collapse or anything. It doesn't change. So yeah. Because you think it would change or it would collapse or something. Doing all this work. Like, collapse logically, right? Because... And then I think this is what, like, kind of bothers me right here. Is that, like, nothing collapses or anything for no reason. Like, there's one speaker explosion that pushes him off of the stage. It just seems really lazy. Oh, there should have been a cutscene there. Oh, well, we'll figure out how to do that, and then I'll show it next video. So, there we go. We got that done. So, bye, everybody.